I can clearly recall us, pontificating about the boredom we felt about the iPhone releases from Apple back in September, having a bit of a not a whinge, but what have they done for us lately, kind of thing in the interesting department. But we did have a caveat there that the Macs were the best place that they ever were, and the week before I went on my trip, I saw that they announced all the M4 Mac lineup, and it's really, really impressive by comparison to what they announced in the iPhone lineup. In particular, I wanted to highlight the Mac Mini in there. That's got to be, without a doubt, probably one of the best value computers, desktop computers in particular, but just computers in general that you're likely to find unless you start upgrading them, of course, and Apple starts charging you lots of money for just to add an extra 250 gigs of storage or whatever. But if you go with the base model, it's really exceptional value. And it's everything that you would want, I guess, from a mini computer like that, and of course enabled by Apple Silicon. They were able to make it that small, and it just it makes it super encouraging for their Mac lineup going forward. I just find it ironic. There was probably a period there, 10 years ago, where it was thought that Mac was a legacy platform and it would probably go the way of the dinosaur or whatever. But it seems like that area of Apple is probably, even though it might not be generating the revenue that iPhone does, so investors are more happy with the iPhone's performance probably, but as a consumer, I'm much more excited by what the Mac is doing these days.
Oh, likewise. I think you and I have been big fans of the Mac Mini now for many years. Just the place it holds, and the fact that it's small, but it's completely functional. And, if it's the only way you can get into the Mac lineup because of, the general cost of the lineup, then, you can pair it with any monitor you like and away you go. And I think for me, or even several monitors, if necessary, and away you go. So it's great. It's powerful. It's got the silicon range of chips in there now, the M4. So, what's not to love? The only thing that kind of, puzzled me and even concerned me somewhat was the whole fact that they talked about compromise. I really hope Steve Jobs is not listening, because he'd just go ballistic. I'll sack them all.
Yeah, well, putting the power button underneath in the back or something was the biggest controversy or something.
Oh, why did they preempt this, that there were compromises? No one would have known.
That's right. You don't say anything. Absolutely.
Why would you say we could have made it smaller? Because you didn't, so obviously you couldn't.
That's right. Absolutely. The one thing that really blew my mind, and this isn't specific to the Mac Mini, is it's actually the M4 chip itself, is that, I'm obviously looking for, I can probably in most scenarios get away with one of the standard M chips, but I have typically, I'm using an M1 Pro MacBook here for doing the podcast, and I tend to like just that next extra level up just for those cases where I know I'm going to hit, some requirement that needs that performance, and it's just nice to have there. The thing that kind of blew my mind away is that it seems like the M4, just the base M4 is there. And that's the thing that really is amazing. Like, there's even an argument now that you don't even need to go beyond, probably back in the M1 you didn't need to go beyond, to an M1 Pro or whatever, but it's now even more the case that a Pro or a Max chip seems to be a limited use case.
Well, I don't know. For all those extreme deep fake videos that you're going to be making in future, you're going to need a pro. You're always going to need a pro chip. But yeah, Ben, I noticed the same thing with that basic M4, and it even got me thinking. Everyone foams at the mouth over NVIDIA and their chips. But really, I've not seen anything that's really a patch on the Apple Silicon design. And I know, you just can't purchase these chips the same way that Amazon is to build, bespoke, AI centers. But you'd think that this is a logical next step somewhere for Apple I just I guess they're probably already doing it with Apple AI. They're just not publicizing it. But it's amazing. I think the power in what we're seeing in these current generation chips, they are phenomenal. And but of course, as I say, for all those deep fakes we're going to be pumping out, you're going to need every single like cycle that you can wring out of your processor.
That's right. I need to get the Pro chip so I can use Apple Intelligence. I keep forgetting that.